At 2 a.m. on June 18th of 2014, Officer Daniel Holtzclaw was returning home in his assigned vehicle. While heading back to his residence, he performed a traffic stop on driver Janie Liggins, a 57-year-old woman. It started just the same as any other traffic stop, but what happened next was nothing but a blur of confusion and terror. Officer Holtzclaw made no attempt to notify dispatch of the encounter and instead ran a records check on Janie without her knowledge. He then ordered her out of the car, made her lift up her shirt and pull down her pants. She was petrified as he threatened physical harm if she didn't have oral sex with him. Terrified after this traumatic assault, Janie fled, but she would then gather the courage to report the abuse and seek justice. This was the report that triggered an investigation, leading to the discovery of multiple other women with similar stories. On reporting to work the next day at the Spring Lake Division of the Oklahoma City Police Department, Holtzclaw was pulled aside and driven to the Sex Crimes Unit by detectives Kim Davis and Rocky Gregory. The situation for Daniel had started to look hopeless even before the interrogation began. Among the many things painting his case suspicious was that he had failed to notify dispatch of the encounter, deactivated his GPS, and logged off the computer.
You have the right to remain silent. You understand that? Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. You understand that?
As the interrogation begins, Daniel is first read his rights, following due procedure, and he confirms that he understands. At this point, Holtzclaw could have requested that his lawyer be present during questioning, but he doesn't.
So when I walked in the station, I see Captain leaned over. Not unusual. I've seen you in the cab, I've never seen you. And so...
Well, nobody.
But I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
So just like anything.
You had said, and we told you that there was a traffic stop.
Right.
That somebody made some allegations against an officer.
Right.
They don't know the officer's name, none of that. And you said that you made a traffic stop after work,
Yeah.
but you didn't call it in.
I didn't call it.
Where was that?
It was about Northeast 50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
Okay. Tell me about that stop.
I was going westbound on Northeast 50th, probably a block just east of Lincoln. And so at the time I'm thinking, okay, it's probably a drunk person or maybe got excited because they saw a cop. So I kind of fall behind it, kind of drifting just a little bit, not crossing lane lines, nothing crazy. So I lighted up because at first the traffic violation I saw at first when it swerved, that was just west of Northeast 50th and Lincoln. And then made contact. It was a black female. What's the deal? You know, why are you swerving? And she says, I'm just trying to go home to Ann Arbor-ish on the northwest side to see your daughter or something like that. So I asked, is there anything on board as far as the vehicle? Is it okay if I search your vehicle and whatnot? She said, the only thing that's inside there is a Kool-Aid cup. I'm like, is there anything inside of that Kool-Aid? Is there liquor or anything inside that Kool-Aid? She's no.
At this point in the interrogation, Daniel gives a simple, straightforward story sounding nothing at all like Janie's report. His questioning was practically routine and rather polite from both sides. However, the story starts to crack as more facts come up with further questioning from Officer Kim Davis.
Did you think she was drunk?
I think she drank, but I don't think with my experience, I don't think she was past the legal limit.
Right.
So,
I mean...
And that's what I asked her too, is like, with your pain medicines, the hydrocodone, everyone knows that you drink with that, it maximizes the effects. So I asked her that, she said no. But when she was in the back of my car, when I was in the front car, and the driver's seat, I could smell it off of her, but I don't think she was still past the legal limit.
Okay. So you got her out of the car?
Yes.
Okay. And put her in the back of your car?
Yes.
Okay. Any problems there?
No, she was cooperative. Didn't give me any problems or whatnot.
Okay. And then you searched, did you run her through Unit 800?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you run her on your MDT?
No, I didn't. All my stuff as far as that, because I didn't even call it in and say it was a traffic stop, my computer was off and everything as well.
Did you shut it off?
I just shut it off,
work?
yeah. On the way, on 50th, I turned it off right before the traffic stop, basically.
As the discrepancies between Miss Ligon's report and Daniel's testimony continue to appear, it becomes more apparent to Officer Kim that the two sides of the story don't add up. Officer Holtzclaw admits to patting Janie down, but he denies having touched her inappropriately or having seen her breasts, contrary to Miss Ligon's claims. And while he admits that he did ask her to expose some inches of her waist, he repeatedly denies touching or seeing anything below the belt.
And where did you pick her up? 50th and what about?
50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
But no, where'd you see her swerve, kind of?
I say a block just to the east of Lincoln and 50th.
Okay. She pull over right away?
She was in the right lane and the outside lane when I saw her swerve. And so she saw a police car right there, and so she kind of did what everyone does, slow down. Kind of, okay, is he going to pull me over or not? And then I lit her up about 50th and Lincoln, past the intersection to the west.
Okay. When you put her in your car, did you pat search her?
When I came here, I was like, lift up your shirt. Is there anything on you? Anything as far as your waistband or anything like that? She said no. And then I put her in the vehicle and went from there. Asked her everything.
Did your hands go on her at all?
I backhanded her on as far as the side.
Where on her body? Tell me. You backhanded?
Her waist, and the back portion. I didn't touch her butt or anything, but the back portion of the waist. And then she lifted it up like right here, and there's nothing.
Did she lift it up like this?
No.
Okay. So she never, like, went, whoo, nothing,
No.
exposed her breasts or anything like that?
She asked me if I was like, no, it's okay.
She asked you?
If you want to search me, I'm like, no, it's okay.
So she never, like, put her hands on the car and you...
No.
Okay. Okay. Where was she positioned or standing when you did the back of your hand on her?
It was about probably the front right fender of my patrol vehicle.
But was she facing you or was she turned?
No, she was facing away from me.
And you just kind of did it like this?
Yeah, back there, yes.
Okay. Did your hand go on her butt or anything?
No, that's not what I'm saying. It was the hip, the side, not the butt section.
What about right here?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
They can tuck a gun
and
right
that's
here.
why I asked to lift it up.
Oh, so she just kind of showed you her belly?
Right.
Okay.
As Daniel continues to deny making any form of inappropriate contact with the complainant, Officer Davies is noted trying to understand if there could have been a possible motive for a false or malicious report. Daniel never called the stop in or wrote Miss Ligon's a ticket, so it makes no sense that she would make up such a heavy report against an officer that left her off the hook.
How long do you think you were on that traffic stop?
I don't think it was an
It's not
excess
a
of over a regular speed. 15 minutes at most, just like a regular traffic stop. Nothing as far as more.
15 minutes. How long were you with her? How long of that 15 minutes do you think was searching her car? Where maybe she's sitting in the back seat?
Like I said, that quick search probably at max, maybe a little bit over 5 minutes. Maybe like 5 minutes if.
So you're with her for 10 minutes?
Talking to her, yes.
Did it take a while to get her to consent to search, or what? 10 minutes is a long time.
She was nervous and she was crying and stuff, and I told her not to be
Did
nervous.
she say why she was crying?
She says police officer and whatnot, and I'm just nervous because I got stopped by a police officer. So I'm like, calm down, everything's fine. And then, so I think maybe with the fact that she had no SDL, maybe she was nervous as well too. And then so I went to the search, and it wasn't that, it was a quick search like I said before. It wasn't in detail, pulling up carpet. It was a quick search.
Because you're just ready to go home.
I was ready to go home.
Did you go home, go straight to bed?
I went home straight to bed.
Trying to piece the events together, Officer Davies asks Daniel how long he was with Janie. And even when giving his answer, he seemed rather unsure of himself. 15 minutes is quite a bit of time for a traffic stop, and claiming that he had spent 10 minutes talking to her did Holtzclaw no favors. That was enough time for the assault to have taken place, and with no records, footage, or witness to back him up, the facts appear to be against him.
Do you recall putting your penis in her mouth?
I don't.
Would you recall that if you did it?
If I did it, yeah.
Is there any reason at all, even from whatever angle, because, you know, it takes a little bit to clear up those videos.
Right.
But any reason why your penis would be out? And doing this, you know how SANE exams work, and I ain't got to explain about DNA or anything like that.
Right.
Now, I didn't say you had sex with her.
Right.
Okay? But getting a blowjob, okay, that is a different story.
Right.
Okay?
I'm just listening to you, sir.
I
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
but I'd rather listen to you. and you start talking.
That's all I have, sir.
Are we gonna get something from the SANE exam?
Go with the SANE exam.
Do you understand that you don't have to full-blown ejaculate to get something out of the SANE exam?
Right.
We can get skin cells, we can get pre-ejaculate, we can do all that and still get DNA.
Right.
Did your penis go in her mouth?
No, it did not.
Okay. Because DNA will clear it up, and here's the deal too. I can fall on the sword
Okay.
and say I screwed up or something, but if we say we didn't do it, and then the DNA comes back and says he did it, then we have a huge problem.
Right.
We're here to give you the chance to fall on the sword, so we don't want a huge problem. We don't want a huge problem for you.
Right.
This is time. It's time. If it touched her mouth, if it touched the inside of her mouth for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you gotta tell us now.
Look,
Right.
there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in between a rape being forced and some
And-
old girl who wants it.
Right.
Okay, we've had plenty of that.
We get that. We know that.
Okay, but there is a big difference. Okay,
Right.
but I'm just saying, these videos ain't helping, and we're gonna do the comparing and all that.
Okay.
Okay, she also had a SANE exam, which you know what that consists of.
Right.
There's a reason why we wanted your buckles.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we can go through a couple different things of why we've got you in here, but you sure there's nothing you want to?
Nothing.
So if we go off the video and watch that,
Right.
you're still going to stick with your story.
Yes, sir.
If we go off DNA,
DNA as well.
Should we show you the video?
If yes.
You do want to see it.
Do I? Yes.
His willingness to watch the clips and consent to buckle swaps would give anyone a reason to believe he might be innocent, or that he may know that the evidence they're asking for was useless. The interrogators appear to shift tactics in the face of the prospect that he is sticking with his story, dismissing the notion that the swab and footage they obtained may be used against him.
Switch up for a second. You had another girl, okay?
Mhm.
You probably not necessarily going to remember the name, but her name is Terry Morris, okay? Black female. Supposedly you promised her a ride to the city rescue mission. This ring a bell?
No.
You did a traffic stop with her. She thought you ran her for warrants. Was it clicking? Drove her around. No.
Her name doesn't. I don't recall a name like that.
But she's claiming the same thing. The exact same thing. And here again, for whatever reason, the things are pointing at you again.
Right.
Now this was before even this incident this morning. Traffic stop, not logged in, all that stuff.
This morning.
No, this has been a little bit ago.
Okay.
This was here just a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay. Anything? Do you remember stopping?
I don't recall a name of Terry Moore.
well, I wouldn't remember a
Right.
name.
How about black female downtown, city rescue mission? That's what I was trying to jog your memory.
I haven't been to a city rescue mission.
I didn't say you made it there.
Have you promised anybody a ride to the city
I
rescue?
haven't asked anyone asked me to city rescue mission.
No, she didn't have to ask you. Did you offer to take anybody to the city rescue mission?
No, I don't offer anyone because I don't like going there. To be honest with you,
Don't like dealing with what?
I don't like going over to the city rescue mission or anything like that.
Okay. How about any stops of a person just walking, even just downtown? Anywhere downtown?
No, I don't. In Spring Lake, I don't go downtown. Besides, if I go to Classen, not Classen, but Western and Maine to Valero's to
Or
fill
the
up
jail,
our jail
or
That's right.
headquarters, property.
Right.
And you just don't remember doing any of those type of stops?
No,
Not in the last month or so?
no.
Do you run everybody that you come in contact with?
Majority of the time.
But you didn't run old girl this morning.
The
The
50th.
50th and Lincoln.
No, I didn't. I didn't run her.
The other girl that he's talking about is kind of making the same allegations, and that's weird.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't look good.
I mean, that's
it doesn't
weird.
look, yeah, it
That's
doesn't look
weird.
good. So
The officers finally reveal that there is more than one accuser. Terry Morris alleged that Officer Holtzclaw gave her a lift and made inappropriate advances while they were together.
off Prospect, when I about hit Prospect, and probably about 50th, I logged out.
Do you guys, because it's done different now, do you have to go to the station and check all your stuff in? At the end of the shift.
Handing her activity and all that one night.
You do that every night?
Yeah.
Not,
And then,
sometimes you don't go to a buddy, here, turn this in, I'm
No.
going home.
And then lieutenants clear us and say, you guys can go home.
Okay, so you didn't, and what, do they make you wait till straight up 2, or do they cut you 10 to 2?
Majority of the time. Sometimes it's just up to the supervisor.
Okay.
The majority of the time.
And then you left,
Right there, yeah. And then I headed up 50th, going northbound.
how'd you get to 50th? Just down Prospect?
Spring Lake Station, take a right to go north, off Prospect, take a left to go westbound on 50th.
And then picked her up at Lincoln or
Out
whatever.
there, ish to the east, where I saw her.
Any other traffic out there?
No, that was the only car.
What about during the time that you had her stopped for like 15 minutes?
What do you mean?
Was there a lot of traffic going by? Was there any traffic going by?
I think there was cars I could see as far as coming going west towards our direction and whatnot, but nothing like real crazy driving by us all the time.
just about.
Hang for a minute. Let us powwow.
Strangely, he maintains he's never even traveled that road. He keeps with his story of the events and is eager to learn the outcome of the tests so that this case can be closed.
You got any identifying marks around your penis?
I don't.
Just a plain old penis, huh?
Plain old penis.
Plain old 14-incher.
I just don't know what to think. Would you take a polygraph?
Yeah, if you want to take a photo.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a solution. Do you know how slow DNA is?
I don't. I do not.
Slow. You be willing to take a polygraph on it?
Yeah.
Get that set up.
You, that's kind of delving off different, but you married?
I'm not married.
Girlfriends?
Here and there.
Kids?
No kids.
You're big. You on roids?
I'm not on steroids.
A little bit?
I've been always.
Which I don't care.
I've always been a big.
I'm not the dope police.
I've always been a big bone guy, football athletic.
You got more than big bones. You got big muscles
I work
too.
out all the time.
Do you?
I do.
Where do you work out?
At a 4-star gym.
Anything you can think of that will help us help you.
That's it. I want
Step out.
to go test. I want to get cleared up my name. I want to get cleared
Because
up.
you know what? If this is a bunch of false allegations, then I want it cleared up too.
Now, this is a rather interesting point in the interrogation where detectives are asking him questions regarding his sex life with his girlfriend. They question him about possible steroid use and then demand to examine his uniform from the 2 traffic stops. Nonetheless, he answers all their questions and agrees to provide all the information they request.
Can you go through my phone?
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to get her involved.
We're not gonna tell her what's going on, but we are
You
gonna.
tell her whatever you want to.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Her number is going to be 918.
Does she work? Are we gonna? If we
She
call.
does work.
Does she
works
work now?
normal 8 to 5 hours, Monday through Friday.
Where does she work?
At a Crescent Oil Memorial in MacArthur area. Around there.
We're getting those tie backs to go.
Don't call her. You created some more work. We were fixing to go. I just talked to Karen.
Okay.
She said she was asleep when you got home, and you did not try to have sex, and you did not have sex.
They try to have sex.
She said you didn't. And I asked her, could you have been asleep? And you kind of, no. And she said no. You did not try to have sex.
As much as I don't want to involve her, I tried to have sex with her and she was asleep. Carrie goes to sleep pretty early, about 9, 10 at the late.
Okay, but she would know if you tried. I'm a woman.
I know.
And my husband comes home in the middle of the night, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been asleep. You said you twirled around her vagina.
I did.
And you put it in a little bit, and then she said, I'm tired. No.
I did.
She would remember that to tell me.
Maybe.
She said you did not try to have sex.
And it's more personal because it's Carrie, but I did try to have sex with Carrie.
I don't know what to say. I mean, because it just looks like I just caught you in a lie, and now I don't know what to believe.
I'm telling you.
I don't know what to believe.
Okay.
Because you tell me this, I go to verify it. She tells me the opposite, and now I'm wondering what you're telling the truth about.
Maybe because she doesn't know what the heck's going on.
No, she doesn't. I didn't tell her.
And I'm glad, but detectives calling her, any other officer asking her a question like that.
I know.
She may be scared. And I don't want to involve her, but
She's involved
that's
because
my girlfriend. That's like
you need her involved for you.
right.
But now she's given the story that you're not given.
I'm telling you, I tried to have sex with Carrie, my girlfriend.
She
Yeah,
is going to
she's-
remember your weenie twirling around her hoo-ha. You remember that. I'm sorry, I don't care how much of a sleeper you are. You remember because it pisses you off in the middle of the night and you go, are you serious? Don't bother me with that.
Maybe you should call her and ask her if she's a deep sleeper. Because there's multiple times I've tried to do that. Multiple times we've had sex. Multiple times she has pushed me
Well,
off.
you told me that you have sex every day, and she says you did not have sex today.
We didn't have sex today. No. We didn't.
Well, you said you have sex every day.
Mostly every day, yes.
So if I call her back, is she going to tell me that you'll
But
have
we
sex
did
every
not-
day?
We did not have sex, but recently, mostly every day, yeah.
I'm a woman, and I know what it feels like to be woke up for sex, and I don't like that. And you remember it, and I don't believe you.
I'm telling you the truth, I'm sorry. I tried to have sex with my girlfriend. I did.
I don't know. You're a dude. Does your wife get
I could-
pissed off if you try to wake her up in the middle of the
She
night?
had white thong on and a t-shirt. And
Okay, you talk to him. I'm gonna go call her again.
Okay.
Because right now, I don't believe it.
Hey, the pants.
This is where cracks begin to show in Daniel's calm demeanor. He's visibly sweating, which he's trying to hide, and his tone of voice rises. His girlfriend doesn't back up his claim of their recent sexual activity. Here, for the first time in 2 hours of interrogation, the officers have something to go off of. Despite the denial from his girlfriend, he still insists that they almost had sex. One thing to remember is that he originally said that they had sex every day, but now he says it's only mostly every day, showing further variations in his story. Officer Holtzclaw again gives his word that he'll give up everything to clear his identity and eventually take off his uniform to submit as evidence. Of the staggering 21 total accusers that came forward during Holtzclaw's time off, 8 were ruled out because they said they were assaulted after Daniel was placed on leave. 5 out of the remaining 13 cases ended in acquittals, including one key accuser, Shardarian Hill. Her 2-hour-long police interview led to her revealing that she was attacked by a police officer who she described as being strikingly similar to Officer Holtzclaw. However, her accusations were eventually dismissed after she revealed the following information at the end of her interview.
So this is good evidence?
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing, he's been in contact with people that he arrested.
After Holtzclaw's trial and sentencing, another one of his accusers, Ellis Smith, whose testimony resulted in 62 of the 263 years he was sentenced to, had a previously unseen deposition video surface in which she described her assailant as a black man who was shorter than Holtzclaw and claimed that she had never seen him before the trial. Let that sink in a bit. She hadn't even seen him before this case, yet she's the reason why he's spending 62 years in prison If that doesn't prove how f***ed our justice system can be, then I don't know what will. Anyways, just 2 months after his interrogation, Holtzclaw was found guilty on 18 of the 36 sexual assault charges brought against him, including 4 counts of first-degree rape, and in fact was sentenced to 263 years in prison, which he'll be serving at Lexington Assessment and Reception Center in Cleveland County, Oklahoma.